Did you ever wonder? I do. Did you ever wonder why the sun always rises, but the stars never fall? Why dry land is never satisfied by water? And why fire never says enough?
So today on Bible Wonders, I'm going to wonder with you about the whole idea of palms, right? The idea of Palm Sunday that we name it is for the palm branches that they used to both put in front of where the donkeys were walking, but also to wave in their hands. As we see in the different Gospels, you see different versions of this. In John's Gospel, you'll note that the palms are there because in their hands, because in the book of Leviticus, but specifically in chapter 23, they describe, what is going to happen in their Feast of Boughs. And part of their Feast of Boughs, right, is where God is going to tabernacle with them. And that's the idea of the Feast of Boughs. And so as the Messiah was coming, and they knew he was coming as they were chanting Psalm 118, the idea of God tabernacling with them was this picture of these palms. And so very, very beautifully, they were waving these palm branches. So what's up with palm branches? Well, from a Jewish perspective, it's interesting to note that usually when they're talking about palm trees, they found them near the water. And Jesus is the living water, and certainly these wells, water is kind of critical, as you're going through the desert. And when you saw palm trees, it was a sign that obviously that there was going to be water. And so there's definitely a connection between the palm branches and the water. But then the trees are very upright, which has to do with righteousness, and trees have to do with righteousness. And palm trees are very upright. And when you look at them, and they again mention it in the Song of Solomon, how upright, these palm trees are. And then they're this idea of the branches themselves come out of the crown of the tree. In other words, they come out of the top, which has to do with royalty. In fact, there's a king palm that has to do with this idea of, and for years, palm trees have been connected to royalty because, again, the branches come out of the head of the tree. And this idea of crown. And so the palm branches are there beautifully as well. But one of the places that I'd love to personally wonder, about is in Revelations, because John not only mentions the palm trees on Palm Sunday, but he mentions in the book of Revelation, specifically in chapter 7, verse 9, you'll note that here when this great white, all the people that have said yes to the dress, who are all dressed in white, are praising God. And guess what they're holding? It says they're holding palm branches in their hands. And so there we are, going to be, when we've said yes to the dress and we're in white and we're holding these palms, as you can see, a picture of, okay, now we get to tabernacle with God. I mean, this is clearly part of what we get to do. And, we'll understand more of the significance of, those palms clearly when we get to the book of Revelation, when we get to do that in person. But also one other little thought that I would throw in there when it comes to the idea of a palm to the Jewish people, the palm of the hand is very, very specific and very important. And you may note that, from a lot of people's perspective, Jesus, the nail went through his palms. But again, whether it went through his wrist or went through his palms, you get the same idea of this hand, that underside of the hand being almost crown-like. And so when they think of the word crown, that it's connected to the palm of the hand, because when you put that palm over your head, that's the idea of the letter hoof in Hebrew. And so this, again, is a very significant issue when it comes to palms. And who knows how that all fits in. Again, I like to wonder. I don't necessarily have answers, but I do like to wonder. And there's a lot of things to wonder about when it comes to these particular branches that I don't think it was by accident at all that God ordered in Leviticus for them to use palm branches. I don't think it's by accident at all that they're on Palm Sunday. This was very much connected to the way that they were celebrating their king coming to tabernacle with them. And again, when we get our chance to do that in Revelation 9. And so this will be the last Bible Wonders I do this week. I am off tomorrow and getting ready for the Passover Seder that we're going to have at Snow Camp at Siloam Missionary Homes. Again, if you're interested in that, don't hesitate to call me. My number is 336-909 2779. I would love to have you there. We'll be going from 4 until 7 o'clock. And then, certainly, my prayer for all of you is that you just see Jesus in so many cool new ways this Easter, and through the way he lights you up by wondering about his word, and, that you light up other people in your friends and family as we say yes to the dress and we put on white and we get a chance to shake these palms even on into eternity. Thanks for listening.
Do you ever wonder?